Thank you. Right, Harry. Hey, hi, Harry. How is your WA? Did your teacher return back to you? Yes, Harry. Hello. I can't hear you. Hello, Harry.
Hello.
Yeah, what's the result? Oh, sorry. You sent a check. 哎呀，每次都是这样，对不起，对不起 Harry. Sorry, you got 13 upon 15
Yeah.
Wow, that's no good, no? Xingchen, is it good now? 13 upon 15, that's no good, right? Yichen, that's no good, no? The two of you really clown, purposely want to join me, want to make Harry, you all two are bully Harry. Basketball, you're laughing behind already. I can see Yichen, you're laughing. Uncle, don't be an idiot.
I never get 15 upon 15.
Hey, come on, man. You all two are too much. Harry, 你要不要我打他们啊? It should be excellent, right? Correct or not? It should be excellent. You see, they're laughing. Okay, come, guys. Let's give Harry a clap. Come. Hey, 要支持他，快点. Give him a clap. Yes. Hey, Xingchen, you never clap. So bad on you. Yeah, thank you. Well done, Harry. 13 upon 15. Okay, now your turn. Okay, everyone, I want you all to have 1 minute to talk about Cuban Missile Crisis. Whether you know or don't know, you still have to do. Now, this is a new tactic of how we're going to revise. On Sunday itself, get ready. Everyone will have a 1 minute presentation of a topic that I'm going to give you. So, for example, if I ask you about talk about diversity of food, then you have to talk. Talk about diversity of internal security, then you have to talk. Non-stop for 1 minute. Okay. So this is how we're going to revise history and social study. Okay. So, Yichen, let's start from you first, Ken, since we are on this topic called Cuban Missile Crisis. Okay, Cuban Missile Crisis, ready? Anything that you can think of Cuban Missile. When you are talking that time, children, I want you to write down. Okay, Ken? Well done, Harry. 13 upon 15, very good. Okay, keep it up, well done. Okay, Yichen, let's go.
Wait, anything about Cuban Missile?
Yes. Yichen, 你不要管它怎么这么多东西，只要什么东西进 anything come to your mind, you just say. 你懂意思吗? This is to train you when you're writing in the exam. Okay. Anything. So Harry and Xingchen also. Okay. Ken, let's go. Next will be Xingchen, then followed by Harry. Okay, Yichen. 1 minute. I'm going to start timing. Now it's 8:08. 13 days. Write down.
Missiles.
Whatever you say something, write down.
Key missiles in Cuba. Soviet Union, Khrushchev wanting to put like the Khrushchev saying that he wants to protect Cuba, but actually wants to threat USA. Them signing the agreement that
who is the day? Your grandfather and my grandfather.
And Khrushchev signing the agreement. What's the name of the agreement?
Never mind. Then put that. What's the name of the agreement? Then you check out. Okay. Now that's the purpose. This is how you test you. Okay. Get.
Khrushchev retreat his missiles, but Kennedy also retreat.
What retreat his missile to East Coast?
His missiles
to East Coast
missiles from Turkey.
From where?
From Turkey. Then Khrushchev from.
Hello.
Huh?
You where got Khrushchev retreat missile from Turkey?
No. Kennedy.
Oh my goodness.
From Turkey.
No, Khrushchev. Retreat the missiles from the Bay of Pigs there. Wow, brother, you're wrong already. It's the US retreat the missile from Turkey.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You say US or you say you say Khrushchev, right?
I said Kennedy.
对不起，这样是我的错了，对。
Yeah,
Kennedy then 对then Khrushchev 就是那个 Bay of Pigs.
Khrushchev is Bay of Pigs, yeah.
可以吗?
I think that's 1 minute.
Okay, Xingchen, your turn.
Can I have a bit of time to think?
Okay, don't look at Google. Whatever you can think of, just think. Harry, your turn.
Um,
1 minute, go.
So Castro came into power and he identified himself as communist. Then he
then Kennedy didn't like the idea. Kennedy broke the like sugar trade or something.
Actually, Castro, right? I mean, you say Castro, actually it's a Cuba.
Yeah,
You must say Cuba. You must say
yeah,
Cuba,
they-
huh?
yeah. Then Castro went to get help from the USSR.
And who is your brother? Who is the brother there? What's his name?
I
Start with K. Just now, your Yi Chen Kok Kok
don't know
just
how to
mentioned.
pronounce.
It's just I hate to pronounce the Russian name. Khrushchev.
Khrushchev. Yeah,
Mm.
he asked Khrushchev for help in like trade and missiles, like power, military power. Then Khrushchev agreed to help him. And,
Was it successful?
kind of.
Kind of. Okay. If you say it's very successful, the whole essay failed already. So it did not. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, carry on.
Then eventually, both the USSR and USA, they took a step back and agreed on to like bring the missiles out of. USSR agreed to bring the missiles out of Cuba. Then USA bring the missiles out of Turkey.
So it's on the negotiation on the table. So both USSR and USA, the two presidents, the two leaders, made a deal to demilitarize and also to denuclearize the missile to reduce the amount of missile threats. Right now, it's the amount of missile threats for both sides, so that they will have a peace of mind to know that it will not have a very aggressive policy that they will want to launch and attack anytime. That's very important. Because if 双方面 reduce 那个 missile 的话，就是说我们已经撤军了。撤军的意思就是说 we are now more on the defensive mode rather than the attacking mode. Okay, so this is one way what Harry has mentioned. Well done, Harry. I think it's good enough. If you want to add on, I'll let you continue. If not, I pass to Xingchen. Which one?
I'm done.
Thank you, sir. Xingchen, your turn.
The Cuban Missile Crisis is what happened after. The Cuban Missile Crisis happened when the USSR put medium and long-range ballistic missiles inside of Cuba, which can attack a large area of the United States.
Can you put that large area of the United States territory? Okay, home soil. You put that home soil and territory. Okay, Yi Chen, 记住啊. Anyway, Harvey and Xingchen will not be tested for this year. So I told you, right? I expect the Cuban Missile Crisis to come up this year O-level. So take note on the US soil or US territory. Okay, carry on, Xingchen.
This happened because Cuba had recently been taken over by a revolution led by Fidel Castro,
Very
who was
good.
openly anti-capitalist and
anti, don't pronounce anti.
Anti-capitalist and was openly hostile towards America.
Very good. Write down the word openly. That means it's really self-declared openly. 光明正大，对吗？一晨，我跟你讲，我跟你光明正大啊！你跟他讲，你关了太光了 ，too bright 怎么看？我给你 sunglasses 啦，怪不得 Castro 每次戴 sunglasses。Okay, carry on. Well done. Well said. Well said.
When the US threatened to take over Cuba using force, the USSR pledged to protect Cuba since Cuba's communist ideology aligned with the USSR's belief.
Doctrine. Can you write down the Cuba's ideologies of communism is in align with USSR doctrine. Okay, 他们的原则、他们的手册、他们的整个政策都是很符合，可以做好朋友。Okay, well said, well said, very good. Carry on.
It's been 1 minute.
Your basketball, you really got in time. Okay. I like your attitude, man. Very good. But you're very calculative, man. 哇，然后以后啊，他做老板啊，买东西啊，一晨跟浩瑞，你看到他不要跟他买东西来啊，一晨，你要问他，他的老婆在吗？还是他妈妈在吗？还是他 daddy 在？因为他这个很 stingy 的，跟你斤斤计较 ，very calculative。11 seconds also want to count。哎呀，真是。Okay, anyway, guys, thank you very much. It was a very good example. Ethan, you like this type of revision? Good, right? Harry and Ethan and Xingchen. So now every time the lesson like that, I'll give you 1 minute to talk about it. There's no right and wrong answer. Is that when you revise yourself in this way, you can do it for your history, social study, English, science, physics, chemistry, bio, A-Max, E-Max. Okay, dy, dx, you all do dy, dx, Ethan. Differentiation, you do differentiation? You A-Max, right? What is the calculus of dy over dx? Okay, there's 3 different types of method of dy, dx, correct? Then you can talk to yourself. It's just like Ethan, like you're giving a lecture to a group of invisible people. But 你这个月做的时候要小心一点了哈，一晨，你懂为什么吗？因为是鬼节哦。但你自言自语这样讲话，你爸爸妈妈等一下很紧张哎呦，我的宝贝我可能要去看 psychology。妈咪不用急，不要担心。我看得到的东西你们看不到，不等于你们看不到。是我讲的东西不等于他们听不到，不等于你听得到。很乱哦。Okay, don't confuse them. Okay, right. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, we're going to talk about this here. Where is my slide? Oh my goodness. I always lost these two. Is it this one? I think it's this one. Okay. The Cuban revolutions, take note of this 1953, this makes a difference, the impact of the rise of Castro. Okay, this is where, okay, I just want to go back again to repeat the same old things, and that's it for today. Will be the end of Cuban Missile Crisis. I think Ethan, do you agree? I hope by end of today's lesson, you can more or less really grasp about 90 to 100%. Okay, I think by this time you should more or less more than 50% already. Compared to last time, you totally know nuts about the Cuban Missile Crisis. Right? Correct. Right, thank you. Can you all at least show me your full face? Very, very hard. Like talking to a wall like that, very hard. I'm scared. Okay, especially this one. So July 26, 1953, around 100 guerrilla. Okay, that's including Castro and his brother attacked this place, and then how Castro. All this no need to know details. Okay, this is to tell you that he spent a lot right now. Castro spent, at least put your full head lah. Don't show me your hand. Very bad, the 3 of you. Purposely one. No. You see, I put even my picture, the one, the frozen one also got no hair. You see. No matter how I do, also no hair. Okay, so this is put there a series of revolutions. Write down, Ethan. A series of revolutions, a series of the attacks that finally they are able to succeed to control the entire Cuba. Okay, a lot of sacrifice. So continue from there. The student revolutionary also. Okay, but Batista sent an army to stop Castro and his guerrillas. And unfortunately, there were several battles that carry out, but unfortunately, Batista cannot win Castro's army because they are so persistent. I think what caused the Batista's army to fall is the London system, a mental diagnosis cell on his look for the one of challenge. Thank you. Never mind, you can put there. Okay, don't worry. The reason one Batista fear is, can you write down, is because the army is too lax already. You know what's lax, right? 好像就是好吃懒做，就是整天 they don't have the proper equipments and proper training 他们是好像做一天和尚敲一天钟得过且过，听过好一整。Right, that means they don't care, they don't believe in that. It's true, no? An army need to have regular training. You see, you realize if during the National Day of the China's anniversary, you see the soldier, the way they march, the equipment, the arsenal they display on the National Day will really tell you will really make other countries to think 3, 4, 5 times to attack China. But if you look back in 100 years ago, during the Qing dynasty, those soldiers who are marching and running and walk like that, I tell you, 给那些老外看都是笑话连篇的，对吗？So this is something that we have to take note of. You must, history tells you that you must have regular, constantly, exercising your power, your mental, your physical. Like you see, Auntie Christine have been laughing at me. I say I want to have 6-pack. Don't laugh, 3 of you, stop it. Want to have 6-pack with my muscle. So I've been training my sit up, my everything. Stop it, Xing Chen, I know. Okay, I train halfway, only got 2.5 pack. Then finally, 1-2 weeks later, I stop. You know what happened, Ethan and Harry? My stomach grows so fat. See my stomach goes so fat already. So how? 所谓赔了夫人又折兵 backfire. So Batista army is the same. Okay, he's too contented right now. If they ask you a question, the Batista army is too contented. It's just like why Stalins are able to attack the Stalin army can attack the what is that? The Nicholas the Tsar army, the Bolshevik army can attack the Nicholas Tsar army. You see, because the Red army has been well trained and prepared for war, and at the same time, the Nicholas the Tsar army has been fighting with Japan and internal civil war, so it weakened their army, as well as Hitler also. See, Hitler, why they can do it so well and prepare the soldier, because from young they really trained the Nazis youth to be strong, fit, and healthy, and mentally prepared for any impending attack. Okay. So the Cuban Revolution was caused by the takeover of former president of this guy, even though he had the support of the US. Many Cubans opposed him. Okay, one of the reasons you oppose him, can everyone contribute? Do you think the first reason that contribute to the downfall of Batista, that the Cubans oppose him? Xing Chen, what do you think? Xing Chen. Ye先生. What is the cause that people want to overthrow this Batista?
I guess he wasn't a good leader.
Okay, definitely it's not a good reason, but what is the one factors that make people? Okay, for example, if everyone want to overthrow PAP, okay, we know who is PAP, how you know, or you don't know, I die, I tell you. Okay, each other also know. So imagine now GST is 7%, correct? How 7%, right? 7%. So let's say after 15 years, 你们是大人了, adult already. So from 7% PAP increased to 25%. Is that the one of the factors that caused the downfall of PAP, Ethan? Yes, Ethan.
Wait, sorry.
Is that the reason why it's caused the downfall of PAP? Anyway, from 7% GST, they increased to 25%.
Wow, die.
Yeah. So it's one of the factors, correct?
Good justification.
Wait, I thought now it's like they are saying that they're gonna increase it to 9%. Yeah.
So 我是讲15年后啦，15年后你已经30岁了嘛，对不对？然后31、30岁来，so 你是成家立业了 ，you got a baby, your wife, your house, everything. 哇 ，25% 啊，你怎么生活？你一定是，如果有一个新的 party 进来they call RAP。Raymond Action Party, we're going to wrap it up, man. Yo, wrap it up. So Raymond come in to be a next Prime Minister of Singapore. And Raymond tell Yi Chen, Harry and Xing Chen, now 25%, no, you only need to pay 3% GST. Will you vote for me? Yi Chen, will you vote for me?
No,
obvious, right?
Really.
Don't want Yo, so
don't
sad.
Want.
Why?
No, the thing is, if you're only taking 3% GPS, then it's not reliable.
Why? Hey, the government charge you 25%, I charge you 3% GST leh.
No,
I dropped by
like
22%.
Right, if you only take 3%, then like it's very hard to run the country.
Oh, very smart.
I'll like find another party that maybe like around 7, cause around 5, 6, 7. Because 3% is not enough.
哇，新加坡有你们这些人才，我死而无憾，很好。It's true. That's where your justification and cost referencing similarity differences, usefulness, reliability comes in. Exactly. you have to think, I give you 3%, maybe I might tax you in other things, correct? Water bill, electrical bill. Maybe I might tax your children for education study, correct? 这是所谓的可以用这个字吗？挂羊头卖狗肉，对吧？To try to use the word, I hate to use the word try to deceive you, which is true. So one of the reasons, one of the factors right now that Bautista fail is because it's not popular because of his policy. Okay, policy of taxes. Okay, that's very obvious. Policy of taxes and unemployment. Take note, any country that is revolts is these few things. Education system, unemployment, insecurity, that means high crime rates, okay, and high GST taxes, and also there's no proper of infrastructures to like hospital, all these things to safeguard the interests of the people. So, wow, Ethan, well said, very good today. Yeah, 你不要给我那种甜头3% 你葫芦里卖了什么药我还不知道，对吗，Ethan? So yeah, good this is what history and SS want to test you all. Those people who don't do these few subjects, they will be very gullible to just to fall into the trap. Okay, that's what's happening. Look at the Afghanistan. I really cannot take it. People take the aeroplane and fly out on the wheel and then drop down from the sky. I cannot understand. Even they don't fall off from the wheel of the aeroplane. They fly through the sky at the temperatures of 10,000 feet, the height. And the temperature might be minus, don't know what. They'll be frozen in the sky and lack of oxygen, right? Harry, agreed on Harry, right? 他一定就算他们不会掉下来他们也是 frozen 在上面But why are they so desperate to go
Also, there's cause the higher altitude, there's like no oxygen.
Then
or like
这个 pressure
yeah.
But 他们知道是死路一条，为什么他们不要走另外一条路走，还要走上面？I just don't understand. Seriously, oh my goodness. Okay, this one is beyond my imagination. Okay, so this is how the Bautista and the government on July 10th by leading approximately 100 guerrillas to attack the. Okay, but this event started the Cuban. You see, once they spark off and the guerrilla from Castro knows that Bautista army cannot defend, the weakness of the military is very important. I think I'm not sure. On the 21st of Saturday, if you see the national performance and the actual day of performance to show our military might, okay. To be honest, the three of you might be going for national service. To be honest, I'm the old soldier to telling you guys to be a soldier to be. If Singapore really want to fight with China, Japan, US, Vietnam, Malaysia, or Indonesia, the most is 7 to 8 days that we can survive. Okay. Seriously, that's all only. Or some people say maybe the max is only 1 month. Okay, 就是给你同归于尽。But even though we know that it's no a match to fight with those countries, but we still have to buy so many expensive equipment, so many so many modern technologies, aeroplanes, weapons. Why? Since we already know 不是百战百胜的，不是那个孙子兵法所说的知己知彼。But why Ethan? Harry, why Harry? Sington. Hey, you guys going to defend Singapore? You guys is already going to be Singapore citizen then. Sington. How? Say there.
It costs more to invade Singapore if you have better weapons.
No, but we know that it's on the losing ground. We should lose, right? No matter how fight, we always changing the.
One of the strategies for dealing with an invasion from some power more powerful than you is to like draw out and make it as expensive and costly for the other party as possible, so they feel it's less worth it to attack you. Very good. Well said. You agree now, Ethan and Harry? You agree? You agree now? Yeah? So this is just like, for example, Ethan and Sington, Harry, 你看。So 我叫Ethan 我们今天去那个洋房bungalow 去偷钱偷东西So we go to the main gate Ethan 你看
there's this sign say beware of dogs. Okay, the dogs is the word plural, not one dog. Then we will think twice to go inside and steal, correct? Because we will assume there's more than one dog, right? But later, when Yi Chen don't listen to me, Yi Chen just jump in and want to go and steal. Yi Chen saw a dog came running towards you. You know what is the name of this dog called? Chihuahua. Then you laugh like that. Walao, uncle, only one Chihuahua, you're so scared. Please. Then later, the Pomeranian came in. He laughed. Then you say, uncle, come on, don't worry, 这是小狗，小 K。那你走到一半，后面的全部来了 ，German Shepherd, Rottweiler, Golden Retriever， 大只的。Then the Tibetan Malamute, you know the Tibetan 那只狗，那个西藏的那种狗。
藏獒。
叫什么
It's called, I think, 藏獒。
But it's called Tibetan Malamute, is it? Malamute. Damn huge. I tell you, should run like hell, man. Correct, no? You know the Rottweiler and this pit bull, you don't play with them. 它咬的是不犯的。I got one friend who bought this dog from Canada. Is a dog trainer, dog groomer. 那种狗是咬了是不犯的嘞。你怎么打它它是不犯的。Only the owner say let it go, then the dog will let go. 哇，这种是忠心耿耿的狗。So now you understand, Xingchen, well said. It's true, Xingchen. It's true that you show the people that you have the most modern technology. That means 他会三思而后行 right? How way? They'll think 3 times before they want to attack us. And it's good things that 我们新加坡跟其他的国家有 good relationship. But this Batista also got good relationship with US, correct? Right? But how come they fail? Any ideas? How come they fail? Since you have good relation, you got the Kao San from US. How come Batista still fail and cannot win and end up Castro took over?
Because his own people don't support him.
Very good. If your own people don't support you, no matter how you call other people's, it will be quite useless. Okay? Well done, well said. Okay? So you see, before the Cuba elected this as the 14th president. After Batista finished his term, he made attempts to become president again. So this president was elected by the people. Well done, Howie. That's why I asked you this question. You see, he was being elected, but 他已经做了不要下台。Imagine Yi Chen and Xingchen. You know, Donald Trump supposed to have every 4 years go for election, right? So let's say the 4th year, nobody fight against him. He walk over and win. So Donald Trump another 4 year, I think it's 家门不幸。如果美国再多4年给 Donald Trump， 我跟你讲。Then after 8 years, he die have to step down, by hook or by crook. And Donald Trump refused to step down. This is where how they say, no respect for the people already. This is a rules. You need to step down. Whether you like it or how good you are. You see, look at Barack Obama. He did a very good job, in my opinion. Okay, to me, it's very good job. The first Black American president. After 8 years, everything 都是国泰平安，风平浪静，丰衣足食。可是8 years later, he stepped down. But this fella no. On March 10, 1952, seized power and canceled all elections in which he was a candidate. That means he is the dealer, no. 他是专家嘞 They don't care about it. In response to this, of course, this lawyer, Castro, a lawyer, led roughly 100 guerrillas, including Castro's brother Raul, to attack the Moncada barracks. This was called the 26th. Okay, this one no need to know. But just in case, I think it came up before. In one of the SPQ questions, I had to go and search. 26, this one is quite a significant date for this group of people who want to crash, and because of that, he was sentenced to 15 years in prison. Now, if Batista were to be cruel enough to execute 枪毙他, today the history will be totally different. Okay, in 1954, Batista became president since he was the only candidate. 废话, he's the only player. Just an Olympic, gold, silver, bronze, 都是他拿. So became the president since he was the only candidate. And next year, And the next year, he released all political prisoners, which include this. So this is the biggest mistake that he made. But I don't know why he want to do that. The only thing I can think of is that he want to show people his 宽宏大量. It's very benevolent. It's very nice. So went into exile. I met this church. This one, remember, this guy was killed in Bolivia. Okay, and then at the Guevara in Mexico City. And together they came up with a plan to overthrow this. There is a Chinese saying, 范武归山 听过什么译成？范武归山不堪设想，对不对？有吗？有听过吗？ That means you let the tiger go off, you're going to expect he will come back even more vicious and more fierce and more attacking power. Either you kill it immediately, or you don't kill, you let him go, you better move away from that territory and settle down in another place. So history tells you that you have to make a very strong decision to do or not to do. So they formed a group and returned to Cuba in November 1956 on small yacht. Okay, this one never mind, just a story they'll tell you. And after they exit the ship and hiking, okay, this group was attacked and only a small group survived. All who survived, okay, regroup and this. So actually, when they landed in Cuba, Batista already 听到风声了，是准备要 he got spy ready to tell him. So months later, the Student Revolutionary Directorate stormed the President's palace in an attempt to assassinate the president on this. Yet most were killed, including their leader. So another few attempts. So this Batista already should know. This history will teach you something. 一波未起，一波来, getting more and more tougher. And if you don't wake up, that means something must be wrong. You have to do something to improve yourself already. Okay, they never learn from history, seriously. From that time until the mid of this, Castro launched several attacks on this place and killing a lot of people. So you see, there's always a loyalties towards Batista because they got the benefits from him and the advantage from him. That's why he's very loyal to Batista. So what happened? Batista eventually tried to fight back in the Battle of La Plata and the Battle of this last Mercedes. Yet Castro won the Battle of La Plata and escaped capture in the Battle of this. So he won the other. So why these statements tell you, children, in case in future you want to do business or anything, this shows you that you don't put all eggs into one basket. That's one thing. But because the manpower are being separated, so they have as for Castro, he believed that he had to sacrifice one of the battle in order to win the other, to consolidate right now, to consolidate his manpower, his arsenal, and his management, which is all the leaders, so that 他可以东山再起. If you're going to spread both to win, it's very hard because of the limitation of his manpower. So next, Castro group captured numerous cities, and this is how well done. How Ray mentioned, the people already began to distrust him, disloyal to him. And the main thing why a lot of people disloyal to Batista is because they do not have enough food to survive, shelter, and jobs. And that's the most basic need. So you realize back to social study, Singapore can have a lot of skill future, always help those retrenched workers to find job, things like that. And even like Uncle Raymond's, okay, even though I got tuition, I still sign up for SG United courses. And for the past 6 months, the government has given me every month $1,200. And just last Friday, I graduated for SMU Advanced Diploma in Food and Beverages, F&B, for growth and transformation. So with this advanced diploma, I can work in any of the restaurants in Singapore with this certificate to become a restaurant manager with a salary of $3,500 to $5,500 per month. Ethan, is it beautiful? Sure, right? The government. Where else you look for other countries? Do they do all these things? So you see, right, whatever I share with you is the real life situation like myself. Imagine Singapore government not going to cater all these things one time. Such a handsome guy, but he's a very poison heart, vicious heart, but also half of it quite okay for him because he still let go of the politicals. All the politicals, yeah, right? Political prisoner, correct. Okay. Within 5 days, the United States recognized and support Cuba's new government. You see, on this Sun 1934, Batista forced Cuban president resigned and appointed Castro to the presidency. Within 5 days, they support. That was many long ago one. Okay. I don't understand that their president, whether they are good or not, 关美国什么事啊？议程很奇怪哦，对吗？好像比如说 ，let's take this way 啊，来台湾要买武器，关中国跟美国什么事情？关新加坡什么事情？啊，好像 North Korea 跟 South Korea 打架，关中国跟 Japan 还是越南什么关系？为什么呢？议程 ，since this topic is for you, why 啊？ Why US must involve in the election of the Cuba? Xingchen, why?
Is it something like it's close to like US? So
Hello, 台湾这么远哦，他们也是给博嘞。
No, but
去卖武器
Taiwan
嘞。
is close to China.
那关美国什么屁事
They want to.
Who
It's
is the
close to
they?
China, what?
Who is the they? Your grandfather and my grandfather.
Taiwan is close to China.
哦，那个关美国什么屁事？对不对？哦，为什么 involve?
They might want to, like,
Who is the
maybe
they?
like
Who is the they?
America might want to see what China is going on.
关你什么屁事？啊，美国关你什么屁事？就算中国打台湾，中国打越南，中国打日本，关你什么事？我问你啊，一晨，你骂孩子啊，你 neighbor 跟你讲，哎，一晨 ，can you stop it or don't scold your son like that? What will you say to your neighbor? 关你什么屁事？对吗？对不对？你都不懂，不知头不知尾 ，you don't know head or tail. Why I scolded my son? You come here and interrupt my family affair. Who are you to tell me, man? Excuse me. Who are you to tell me who am I supposed to be? All right, Howard, imagine you have a company. You want to put your second son to be the CEO or the third son as the CEO. Imagine Ethan and Uncle Raymond saying, "Oh, Howard, you cannot do like that." The first thing you tell the both of us, 关你什么屁事？对吗 Howard? Correct 吗？But that's the things. Why US? 你没有不觉得吗？ Why US must involve? It's not about near to US or far away from US. But why, Xingchen? Since you always got a very weird but good answer, why?
Can't think of anything.
Okay, never mind, it's okay. Howard, why do you think so?
It may compromise their own interests.
True. Very true. Like what? It may compromise their world interest. Very true. Then? No idea. You are there. Very close to my answer. Seriously, very close to my answer. It's just like 一晨在教他孩子 the neighbor come and tell 一晨 hey, please don't go and scold your son like that, don't beat your son like that. What got to do with the neighbor telling him? What is a compromise his interest to tell him? Unless the neighbor is like those policemen or anti-child abuse organization, then 他关他屁事啦，对吗？ Okay, never mind. Let me tell you. The reason is US want to make sure after World War II, he has his duty and responsibility as a global policeman. He has to make sure that before that already 1930 something, during World War, after World War I, he has like the United Nations, League of Nations and others. He play a role that to make sure that those countries who are different ideology with US will not be able to see eye to eye. But if you have the same ideology with me, I will be able to do trade with you and do business with you and support you one way or another. So that means that US is using his authoritative power, his ability as a big country, a big brothers, to suppress others by following its direction, which to me sometimes is quite ridiculous, right? Just like the neighbor saying, you do one more time, you beat your son until like that, I'm going to call police. Fair. But if you are scolding your son because he was being rude to your mother, 他的奶奶, then you scold him. Because you don't know the 来龙去脉. So you have to go into deeper. So this is what we have to understand, you see. This is not yet. Okay, so this is about this fella. Okay, about this, how he graduated. Okay, so no big deal, we're not interested. This is the other guy was killed in Bolivia. Are you with me? Okay, hopefully you can feel. Okay, so this one continue. Already next slide. What do you see, Ethan? Okay. Do you see a picture? Conclusion? Have you seen a conclusion? Yes, my laptop, my tab very slow. So conclusion, you realize that because of this different ideology that threaten our dear US interests, which is what Harvey say. He cannot compromise, cannot get along in good terms. So it's just like in school, you sit in a classroom. If you do not like that student A, and happen the the teacher put the student A beside you, you definitely feel very uncomfortable. You tend to move away from A or ask A to move away from you, or even better still, you will not want to talk to A and praying hard that after a few days later, A will move out from your proximities of areas to some other place. So this is understandable because you know why? It's all about different ideology. It's all about not only compromising. It's making sure that I have something to win from you by supporting you. If I have nothing to win from supporting you, then why the heck do I want to spend time to help you with all these things? What do I get out of return the benefits? Okay, so you can see such a country are surrounded by water, all the way just like Singapore. It's just that this Cuba is much bigger than Singapore by more than 1,000 times or so. So you can see that all surrounded, and they are very vulnerable to pirates as well. 海盗, okay, and then smuggling. So these countries always is very dangerous, and they are also vulnerable for attack by natural disasters like hurricane, typhoons. Okay. Okay, I come to the close of my defense, please, but I will not end it as lawyers usually do, asking that the accused be freed. I cannot ask freedom for myself while my comrades are already suffering in the ignominious prisons of the Isle of Pines. The ignominious prison, sorry. Send me there to join them and to share their fate. Wow, so strong, like send me there. No? It is understandable that the honest man should be dead or in prison in a republic where the president is a criminal and a thief. So this speech was so strong that it really gave a wake-up call, give a kind of very esprit de corps, 就是同志们 very close, heart, very burning, the heart is burning desire to get rid of this corrupted authoritative dictator. Say to you, Honorable Justice, my sincere gratitude for having allowed me to express myself free from contemptible restrictions. I hope no bitterness towards you. I recognize that in certain aspects you have been humane, and I know that the chief judge of this court, a man of impeccable private life, and cannot disguise his repugnance at the current state of affairs that compels him to dictate unjust decision. You see, lawyer 就是 lawyer 很会讲话, very good in using the words to play along. Still, a more serious problem remains for the courts of appeals, the indictments arising from the murders of 70 people. That is to say, the greatest massacre we have ever known. So these 70 people might be political people, might be people anti-Batista, might be people who want to change the total ideology, might be people who have different viewpoints that is a threat to Batista. So what it means here is that CMC is a reason that the Americans look into this very seriously to make sure that if this would be overspilled out of Cuba, the people might be illegal migrating to US. Now you understand what he said. That's why a lot of people, it's true, no? That's why all these illegal immigrants will swim to US and become illegal immigrants and become what? Become what? 美国的问题的，就像这样一层，你整天骂你孩子，until 你孩子 fed up， 不要回来了，他离家出走，他跑去你邻居的家，他变成是他的 problem 这样，明白吗 ？Okay, this is something a very vague example share with you. Okay, so the guilty continues at liberties and with weapons in their hands, weapons which continuously threaten the life of all citizens. Can you imagine that this might be one of your source-based questions, so take it seriously when I'm reading it. If all the weight of the law does not fall upon the guilty because of the cowardice because of dominations of the courts, and if then all the judges do not resign, I pity your honor, and I regret the unprecedented shame that will fall upon the judicial power. I know that imprisonments will be harder for me than it has yet if ever been for anyone. Filled with cowardly threats and hideous cruelty, but I do not fear prison, as I do not fear the fury of the miserable tyrants who took the life of 70 of my comrades. Condemn me, it does not matter. History will absolve me. So you see, you are so strong about him that he's really the love and the passions of people of Cuba, and the love and the passions that he wants to liberate under this tyranny of the Cuba president of Batista. He's so strong that he wants to make sure that the country is free from all this abuse. But guess what? When he came over to Cuba, he also the same thing. He also make 没有两样. Okay, so I've let's see another more slide. Just a quick one to share, and then I will end it. Okay, this is a superpower. Just please take note about Cold War. Okay, 1945 to 1991, right after the war till the fall of Soviet Union. Anyway, Yichen, you don't need to study gastro and perestroika, right? The end of Cold War. So it might be Hao Rui and Xing Chen. That will be your baby next year. Okay, if COVID, I think we all want the COVID to end. But if the COVID end, that means no HPL for a long period of time and all vaccinated about 90%. It cannot be 100% in Singapore. There's no way that every citizen in Singapore will be vaccinated. Agree, Xing Chen? There will be some cannot vaccinated because of health reason. So will be no choice. Cannot be 100% one. There's no such thing in no matter how good in the Raffles institution or Hwa Chong or whatever. It's very hard to get 100% passing. Very hard. So by doing that, you see, okay, we are talking about this Cold War. Reason for the Cold War. Okay, it's also good for you to revise Yichen. Okay, a necessary alliance. So you see, US capitalist is like that. The rich get more, the poor like one bread. Private industry. Then the US and the communists also got elections, but communists, no change. This one is Republican and Democrat. So got choose party. This one state-owned, individual right, everyone equal. I don't like this idea. I don't like equalities, everyone get equal. Very hard. You make people, those who are very lazy, to be more even lazier, in my opinion. Okay. So ideological conflict. So US is believed in this.
The thing about equality is that, like, for example, right, if one person is lazy and then the person is hardworking, then like if both of them, right, they get the same pay anyway, right?
Yeah, correct.
Then the hardworking person will think that, oh, there's no point in working hard.
Precisely, because everything what I do will return back to the state. I also get $10, not like in a capitalist. I work 10 hours, I will get $1,000 a day. Of course, 我当然去卖命做嘛，对不对？这是我 that's why it's called private ownership 嘛，这是我自己的 my own property, correct? But because you have to understand certain parts of it, it's good to have communism to come in. during the China's cultural revolutions or this the Qing during the Qing dynasty 的秦朝，因为真的是中国不可以给一个人统治 ，OK？ 所谓你看那个唐宋元明清 ，and before that 啊，那这么多朝代啊 ，the good emperor rulers cannot last for more than 300 years. And every time when they are very at the peak 啊，他们就是好吃懒做的，他们就是得过且过，没有管 next day 哦，不可以这样。And it happened to Venice 啊，when you do the old social study 啊，Venice also no. After 500 years， 哇 ，the people 就是整天 one month party 嘞，他们的 national day 是 one month 嘞 ，holiday 了，哇 ，can do that one 哦，不用做工的。So I don't know 啊 ，maybe our era 我们投胎的时候就是这样 ，we have seen the world differently. In fact, every era 哈，星辰、一辰 and 浩瑞啊 ，every generation will have a kind of paradigm shift. Okay, let me write down this word. I hope you all can copy down this word. This is a very important word. Copy down. The paradigm shift means it's the old school of thoughts into new school of thoughts. And 好像以前你的奶奶爷爷是用那个针车啊 ，sewing machine 啊 ，to sew your clothes. Now you use computer. 啊，以前是用那种 hard things to print 啊。Now got color printer, even better still, got 3D printer. Where got 3D printer last time? Last time use typewriter. Now use handphone to type also can send message. So this is a paradigm shift. If different era, okay, different era has different way of doing things, the way they see things, okay? So just to share with you this. So this is ideology about communists, how, never mind. And then this is how it works. Germany out of it. So this is distrust during this. After Germany is being after Germany surrender, they become divorced. In other words, huh? So everyone want to have a piece of cake in Germany, a piece of pie in Germany. See all these three countries. But we all know that British has not enough power, so US help the British. Until today, I think that these three countries are still cannot see eye to eye, in my opinion. Okay, delaying on the open second front. Take note, in case your Yi Chen, Xing Chen, and Hao Rui, in case the two set 3 boys, you have to take note why the distrust they got the second front, the Yalta Conference and Potsdam. I think we went through these two already before. Okay, and then distrust, even though for both US and R were allies before. And they still actually they are in fact their allies power is just a short period of time because they have a common enemy called Germany and Italy and Japan. That's about it. And the second front was open, and this is where they start to test their loyalty and their friendship of one another. And finally they broke away because they start to see a cracked relationship between both parties in terms of military. You bomb Japan with atomic bomb. You never share with me we got this technology. Then the Russia came out, another Sputnik that sent the dog to the space. You know, they got this thing called the Star War effects. Later they fight against. And the way you see the sitting positions, you can tell, okay, how aggressive our US person see the leg, very confident like that. Okay, so this is a Yalta conference about how Germany is supposed to be divided and give way. And now you see after everyone changed except all change except Stalin never changed. So you see now because Stalin become more over already. He's more experienced. Say, last time your ex-boss talk to me, we discuss this. Now you are new one. You are behind me. I'm more experienced in your negotiations and communications and talking terms with all of you. Okay, so you see Truman's Atlas which is the British guy. So they have not seen how Stalin works before, really. So okay. Another thing is also this one, brick in the 4 zone, the Potsdam. So these are Yalta and the Potsdam. How it divide. Okay, please, Xing Chen, are you there? Yi Chen, Hao Rui. please read through, because for the set 3 students, you may be asked, oh yeah, here, okay, you may be asked to do a comparison for these two. Not much things to talk about it, okay? That's about it. How it breaks away from the friendships of after more than 10 years of friendship. Okay. So US nuclear monopoly, which is after they call the space war. Okay. Stanley was worried that the US kept the secret from them because they wanted to make sure that they are the only country in the world with the atomic bombs and to keep USSR weak through this bomb. So why do you do that? If you are used to be together allies and fight against the same colony of Germany and Japan, and if you have this technology, you should share. It's just like in school, if your friends are good with you, they will share with you the notes. Hey, 医生啊，昨天你不舒服，你没有来哦。老师抄了这些 note 我跟你 share 对不对 ？That's called friend 嘛，对吗，医生 ？But if the person don't like you 医生 you ask 昨天老师有没有给我们 notes 哦，没有没有。我没有抄so correct. So this is where then later you find out, the teachers give notes, but you how come never give me? How come you say don't have? Then you start to think already. Can I trust this student A anymore? Or should I trust student B who really share with me notes? Or student B, is it there's ultimate motive to share with me notes and later he or she want to take out something from me? So this is something, wow, history. I have to dig and find out the real truth. By the time you dig at the end of it, the abyss, the bottom of it, you found the truth. It might be too late already. It might cost you a life. It might cost you a dead friendship. It might cost you a very sour relationship for the rest of your life. And it's like a pain in the history. That is what happened, the Cold War. Okay, the Korean War, the Cuban Missile Crisis, the Vietnam War, the Iran-Iraq War, and the hijack in 1975. And then what war again? Which war is that? And the Afghanistan war. I used to look at Afghanistan. It's a very poor thing. After the US have been fighting 20 years, right? How right? 20 years, they say bye-bye. Can you imagine? If you're the ally of US for 20 years and you think that it is so good, wow, 可以过得很舒服的日子, then suddenly they say bye-bye, the Taliban is just to come in. And they say, I won't do anything to push it. 江山易改，本性难移。USSR then went ahead and developed their own atomic bomb. So you see, Yichen, you found out your friend never lend you the notes. Finally, you go and hunt around in the whole school. Finally, you found someone trusted, and he let you to copy the notes. And better still, Yichen, you prepare your own notes, much better than the notes the teacher have. And then when you pass well, and the guy who don't lend you notes, thought he will be top in class, and later found out you are the top. And then you also share some of your notes, your new ideas of notes to another person. The fellow will say, oh, see, this is the one. Okay, I like this picture here. I think I showed you that before. Truman Doctrine, Marshall Plan. Take note now, Yichen, Xingchen, and Howrey. The Marshall Plan as well as the Truman Doctrines. I went through this before with you. So please take note and study this for your exam. Cold War, okay, that's the picture. Now, these two, take note of this. Go back to the previous slide. Okay, for the Set 3 student, you have to take note why the Truman Doctrine is very important to in line with the Marshall. Now, Truman is the president. Marshall is the general. So you have to know that the president will have more outweighs of power to do something. All right, and this is where they put the missile for these two places here. Okay. And the Marshall Plan is to stop the economic power, which is later on the war. Okay, so one is the leader, one is the staff. So which one you think is, of course, Truman Doctrine? To me, it's not important. And the Cold War is such a big piece. Because it's very right. Back just now. The Wi-Fi stopped. Harry, can you hear me? Harry, can you hear me? Lisa, can you hear me?
Just now you are lagging.
Yeah, lagging, correct. That's right. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear? Just now I was lagging, correct. Yeah, some problem. Very soft. Can you hear me now?
Recording in progress.
Sure, you are muted. Sure, you are muted. Sure, you are muted.
Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I just now cannot.
Yeah, just now muted. And think my wireless earpiece got problem. So that's why no battery. Sorry. Xingchen, just now you were out, right? My Wi-Fi also lagging. So the whole thing also stopped. Thank God my this okay. So now, so this is the Iron Curtain. Sorry, now loud and clear. So we're talking about the Iron Curtain speech by Winston Churchill. Berlin blockage. Okay, started. Okay, this is some of the pictures you can see for yourself. Okay. Next month we'll be doing a lot of practices already. Between the two superpower, the capitals of Germany, Berlin. This is. Okay. Stalin's aim was to starve West Berlin and keep Germany divided. Very bad-hearted than this guy was to starve West Berlin. Well, I think 他如果死了去建联合王啊，我不懂怎么办他，好像秦始皇这样。Okay, so Alif, okay, this one you have to read through. Just give you. This is a revision. For the three of you. Take note. Please read now. Don't just look at your handphone or other things. Yeah, just go quickly, please. Okay, in May, the France and Berlin zone became Federal Germany, West Germany, and then the East Germany, which is the Russian. Yo, look at the picture. Known as the German Federal Republic. Okay, the yellow color one. And then here is the. This is so Germany also break into this. The East Berlin here break. Okay. Berlin blockage. We're talking about here again. We're going to come to the end. Military alliance. The NATO, take note. North Atlantic Treaty Organization. The US feared that the Western European countries would negotiate with the Soviet Union over their security worries. So the US set base in the Western Europe just to prevent other countries to fall into the Russians. So what happened? Thus, an alliance of USA and the Western Europe countries was needed to strengthen the security of Europe. So hooray, Yichen and Xingchen. And Yichen, you mentioned just now about the SRQ. Is security more important than giving goods to the citizen, right? So does it, I hope it did answer your questions. Security is the most paramount important to prevent any attack and to make sure the cohesiveness of the country must be there in order to have a tight, good security. The Western European countries were also fearful of aggressive SU and were interested in collective security agreements with the USA. So they find that they are more comfortable with the USA than the Russians, and therefore this NATO came up and agreed that they will come each other defense if there's an attack by external party, and this external party is none other than the Soviet Union. So in reaction to NATO, the Soviet Union also formed the Warsaw Pact, and this was an alliance with the Eastern Europe states, which is this thing. This part here, all this the golden, the sandy color brown. Okay. So this is the Berlin, the East and the West Berlin, the West and the East Berlin. Then the breakthrough. So all these countries will come out under the Warsaw Pact, including Czechoslovakia, Austria, and Poland. Then Austria also, Austria, I think yes. Okay, and what happened? The Warsaw Pact, okay, this was okay. Similar to the NATO, under the Warsaw Pact, the member states agreed that they would come to each other defense if they were attacked by an external party. Later, they broke away, the Warsaw Pact. It's a funny thing that they decided also not to join and become neutral or even want to join NATO. Okay, there's a Warsaw here, named after the capital of Poland. The NATOs are all the green colors one, including Turkey. That's why the missile is planted here to attack Moscow. It's from here, Ankara, all the way to Moscow. Much nearer than from US to Moscow. So this is Europe, the Cold War. Okay, this is the communists. And this is the Western. The Marshall Plan 8, the Truman. So it's good that look at this picture. It's very interesting. By one look, you can see the two arrows and the Europe are doing divide. And this is called the Iron Curtain, the Berlin Wall. And this is how you see, you guys can come up this kind of picture to put in the things like this. So it's easier to remember, easier to study, easier to focus. Okay, let's go back to the lesson plan here. Okay, let's come here. We still got a bit of time. Let's look at this picture source. Okay, study the source carefully. Blah blah. Source A is the cartoonist. Okay, I think you have received this lesson plans last week. I'm not sure you all looked through it. Okay, so study source A. We just do source A first. Is the cartoonist a Russian or an American? Explain your answer using detail from the source. Ready? Who was responsible for the Cuban Missile Crisis? One more time. Is the cartoonist a Russian or American? Explain your answer using your source. Yichen. I know. Okay, Yichen, what do you think?
I think it's
Look at the prominence first. A cartoon published on the 9th of October 1962. The caption reads, "Once more onto the brink." Once more. The man in the cartoon is Khrushchev, and the woman represents world peace. To me, definitely it's a American cartoon. I don't know what about you think.
I think it's American cartoon.
Okay, how Ray leh?
Because he's like threatening world peace.
Okay, threatening the world peace, using that knife to threaten the very weak, fragile, and innocent world peace, Miss World Peace. Her name is called World, and her surname is Peace. Okay, Hooray. Americans or Russian?
American.
American. Xing Chan, please turn on your camera. American or Russian?
Russian.
Russian. Why you say this is a Russian?
Oh, American.
Confirm now. Just now, Yi Chen and Howard say Russian. I also say Russian. So you say American. Since I'm blur already. So did I really say Russian or American? Okay, let's see the answer. Xing Chen, will you mind kind enough to read?
The card. Which part?
I think 3 mark that the private of USS is negative light, and explain how the methods, the cartoonist and method with the use of software. So it says that it's an American cartoonist. Okay, let's go read this one here. 5 marks. Howard and Xing Chen, Yi Chen, please pay attention. This is a 5 marks answer with 2 influenced by right. Okay, go.
The cartoonist is an American because he is depicting Russia in a negative light. According to this source, Khrushchev is accused of endangering world peace. This is seen in the source where Khrushchev is forcing the lady, representing peace, to the brink of the cliff using a sword. He is forcing her to jump down the cliff by threatening her with a sword. This shows that Khrushchev was trying to end world peace by placing the world in a dangerous situation. During the Cuban Missile Crisis, Khrushchev was perceived by the Americans as creating threatening world peace by placing missiles in Cuba targeted at the US. Hence, by portraying Khrushchev as the villain, the cartoonist has placed him in a negative light. This proves that the cartoonist is an American, as a Russian cartoonist would not portray their leader in a negative light.
Well, you got 5 marks already, right? Yi Chen and Howard. What Xing Chen read is very straightforward. It's the matter of how you're going to write it and how you're going to express that, saying that the American is the one who drew this cartoon, is to portray that the Russian is a bad guy, a negative light, and a very intimidating situations where if we are not going to help world peace, the whole world peace, that lady will be collapsed and die of a very severe casualty. And I think we should take actions to prevent this catastrophe, to prevent the Russia from coming in to attack and bring those missiles to Cuba. Okay, so let's move on to the next questions. Okay, the question is B. Howard, can you mind read the questions as well later? Go. Source B.
Study source B. What can you infer from this source about the reasons for tension between US and Cuba? Explain your answer.
So let's look at source B. What does it mean? Okay, so an extract from a report by an official from the U.S. State Department, which dealt with U.S. foreign policy. So it can be a plus, it can be a minus, negative, or it can be a, where's my neutral? So let's just start. This is not neutral. It can be neutral, right? I don't put italic. So it can be positive, negative, or neutral. So I will say that U.S. State Department, which dealt U.S. policy, maybe positive and neutral. Let's read on, Howard.
Castro promised a better life for the people of Cuba after the corruption of Batista, a military dictator who controlled Cuba from 1940 to 1959. and we welcome that promise. Then Castro began a campaign of hostility against us, taking over American-owned ranches, sugar refineries, oil refineries, hotels, and banks. Castro is making Cuba a communist dictatorship and linking the Cuban economy with the communist bloc.
So the word pronounced as oil refineries, this pronounced as oil refineries. Okay, so initially, when this person who say that, the official will say that, he give a very positive light, he give a very good comments, he give a very encouraging tone, he's kind of supportive Castro, but later go, not too leh. After taking, he's really a idiot, a clown, very bad, no. Wow, treat us like dirt shit, no, don't respect us, no. So the questions, what would the questions ask you to do? So we've done the A already, let's do the B. What can you infer from this source? Except based on source descriptions. What do you think? Ethan, what can you infer from this source about the reason for the tension between the US? Okay, everyone must take part, then I'll reveal the answer. So the first one just now is to show you, give you a warm-up. So what can you infer from this source? What does it tell you? First, he say very good about Castro, then later he changed. Castro is not really a good one. He made a bit of lot of problem to us and changed the whole entire country to communist. Oh my goodness gracious. Isan? Next will be Xing Chen. Last will be Hao Rui. All must give me an answer. How can you infer? How can you show that this source about the reason for tensions?
Sure, can you show the source again?
Sure. So take note, okay, this is a picture to take capture it again later. Just now. So. Okay, here. Anyone finish? You also can tell. How Ray, what is your answer? Xing Chen. How Ray, any answer?
They have different ideologies.
They have different ideologies that threaten the US to be more cautious, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can rest for a bit because you're not having a full answer, but okay, fair enough. How about Xing Chen? Yes, Xing Chen.
Can you show the question again?
Oh my goodness, I don't leave out. Okay, I don't want to go out already. If you can take a pictures, screenshot and put it in the other side of the thing. Okay, I don't move on. So just read. Better life. Okay, let's go. Okay, Ethan, what is your answer? About the reasons for the tension between the two countries. What can you infer from this source?
It's like maybe the not very sure.
Quite tough, right?
Mm.
It's quite easy actually. Okay, Xing Chen. What is your answer?
Differences in ideology.
Ethan, can you read? So you see there's two infer. One infer and second infer, please. Let's go, Ethan.
I can infer that one reason for the tensions between US and Cuba was that Castro was seen as going against American interests. This can be seen in the source where it shows after coming to power, Castro took over America-owned ranchers, sugar refines,
Sugar refineries,
sugar refineries, oil refineries, hotels, and banks. This shows that Castro targeted American companies and forced them to shut down, and such anti-American actions affected
It's
American
anti, no
anti.
anti.
And such
American
actions affected American interests, causing tensions between US and Cuba.
Obviously lah, you go and take everything, you stop here, you want to take over, ask my people to get out of the country, move away. Obviously, you're not only anti-Americans to us, but all our property, all our things, you all confiscated ah. 哇，不喜欢我不用紧，还拿我的财产。哇，鸡蛋糕 I cannot take it. I better take my thing. But unfortunately, all those who left Cuba at that time cannot bring everything back. So it's really. Second inference, please.
I can infer that another reason for the tensions between US and Cuba was that Castro was aligning himself with US Army. This is US enemy, sorry. This is seen in the source where it says that Castro was making Cuba a communist dictatorship in linking
the Cuban
economy with the communist bloc. This tells us that Castro was siding with the communists, who were the Americans' co-war enemy, resulting in tensions between US and Cuba.
So you must say that the Cuba is more unfavorable of taking the ideology. So when you see this kind of question, it's about different ideologies, different ethos, different doctrines, different concept, different mindset, different flavor. One like strawberry, the other one like vanilla. So they cannot see eye to eyes. So with that, they have no other choice. If not only become arch enemy, 死对头, they also want to make sure that the other party 会死无。接下去怎么讲？一层死无什么
I forgot.
死无战胜之地。哦，哇，真的很毒来，无毒不战夫。They really want to go to the extreme to exterminated, extricated, or whatever, eradicated, eliminated, whatever you call it, all the to make sure that he will be ruling the whole entire world. Remember the first picture told you about world peace. Get out, I want to take over the whole world. Because the word tells you communist bloc. You see, okay? So good, So it's not very difficult, right? Oh, Ethan, it's just based on the source and thought only, not so difficult. So next questions. They are asking you for C. Study source C and D. Will the cartoonist be surprised by Kennedy's statements? Explain your answer. So the keyword is surprise elements. So you have to involve reliability and usefulness. This is a 6 mark, so not worried. So you have to talk about surprise and not surprise. Let's look at source C. Xingchen, read source C. Yeah, read the things. A cartoon about the Cuban Missile Crisis published in the Evening Standard, a British newspaper on the 24th of October 1962. So British support NATO means a bit negative to the Russian, positive to the American, but neutral at certain ground because he do not involve in the two of their Cold Wars. So Xingchen, can you read this to the class?
Intolerable having your rockets on my doorstep.
That's all. You read the whole thing, like.
So Soviet base in Cuba, US bases in Turkey, Persia, etc.
Okay, then read the whole story. You purposely want to Xingchen. Hello, you don't hide your face, you pretend you purposely. I ask you to read the whole story. You have to say Kennedy was saying that please move away your missile from Persia and Turkey. Then Khrushchev, who is very short, stand higher, taller ground, say, you diama. You also move your stupid missile away from the Turkey. Okay, no, sorry, one more time. Sorry, correct. Sorry, one more time. Kennedy said, can you move away the missile from Cuba? Okay, because you're threatening me. Then Khrushchev went on top because Khrushchev is shorter than Kennedy. 太矮了，矮子. So Khrushchev said, shut up. You also move away your missile from Turkey. You see, I only got 2 missiles there. You got 4 missiles. So who is who? Who is threatening who? 星辰，你这样不会讲咩？ 我叫你
US threatening Soviet Union.
啊，只是这样讲咯。So in future 啊 children, when you look at the picture, 你自导自演、自唱自讲。一晨 ，Hurry， 你要自己这样讲一个故事出来吗？哎，以后你做爸爸的嘞，你儿子这样 ，Daddy, I don't understand the picture. I tell you 啊 ，if your son say, Daddy, come sit down. Daddy 一晨 sit down， 你的儿子跟你讲 ，Daddy， 我读那个 story 给你听，哇，我跟你讲，你的脸不懂丢到哪里去。你儿子讲故事给你听啊，一晨 ，that will be very good. You know why? Not sarcastic 啊。Your son overrule you. Correct or not? Your children must be smarter than you 嘛，对吗，一晨 ？Cannot be stupid than you 哦。Must be smart， 一代一代的聪明的嘛，对不对？不要讲 stupid 啦 ，sorry。比较聪明一点 ，OK，D， 星辰你都不带呢，星辰 ，An extract from the President Kennedy's television address to the Americans on the 22nd October 1962. Go. Is this the time inside the 13 days Cuban Missile Crisis, or is it after or before? Let's go, 星辰。
The transformation of Cuba into an important strategic base by the presence of long-range offensive weapons of mass destruction creates an explicit threat to the peace and security of all Americans. This sudden and secret decision to place strategic weapons outside of Soviet soil is a deliberately provocative and unjustified change in the existing state of affairs. Our objective must be to prevent the use of these missiles against the USA or any other country, and to secure their withdrawal or elimination. We will not risk the costs of worldwide nuclear war, but neither will we shrink away from the risk at any time.
This thought rocks are eaten. First, the USA, you put the missile near at our doorstep. 请问谁犯谁先? Who started first? The US started the missile and put on Turkey first. So now I got this golden opportunity. I got this good chance to place the missile as close as to your doorstep. I will put it, wow. Right. You play Monopoly now, Ethan. Huh? You know, the most expensive one is the one before the goal, right? You know, go after goal, you collect money, right? Hurry, you play before Hurry. Are you there, Hurry? Hello, Hurry.
I really play.
But you play before, huh?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I play before.
It's the dark blue color one.
Correct. 那个是最贵的 property, 对不对？ Can you imagine 你旁边的每个你有8个 player 玩，7个都已经买 property here and there 了，那有机会 step onto 那个最贵的，你当然买嘛，对不对？ Of course, this is an opportunity. Don't come often, what? Then if you let go, bye bye. People will buy already. Then you will be the first one to get out of the monopoly game. It's the same concept. Who is the fastest fingers first to take the thing? So you must be able to link 随机应变 strike when the iron is hot. So it's nothing wrong for the Russian to do that. And you say, are you surprised? I'm not surprised. Seriously, I'm not surprised for that. Okay, let's see the answer. I'm not surprised because if you are doing this, I'm going to do that to you as well. Okay, Ethan, why not? Since okay, so let's go. Wait. Wow, very long, huh? And then finish this, then we end the day, huh? Let's go. Ethan, the British cartoonist.
The British cartoonists will be surprised by Kennedy's statement, as both have different opinions on whether US was justified in its action according to the cartoonist.
Stop. Agree now. So just now Uncle already told you, right? I'm not surprised that the Russia put the missile in Cuba because you is the one who start first. Always remember, 你做初一，我做15. You are the one who started all these things because you threatened us. I did not threaten you. I put the East Berlin blockage. It's because I want to spread my ideology. You guys are the one thinks that communism sucks. That's why you did it to me. So it's carry on. So it's not fair. According
to Kennedy's statement, US was justified.
No, according to the cartoonist, the US was not justified in its action.
According to the cartoonist, US was not justified for its actions.
But according to Kennedy's statement,
but according to Kennedy's statement, US was justified. The cartoon shows US yelling at Russia for placing missiles in Cuba when US itself was guilty of placing multiple missiles in US bases in Turkey, Persia, etc., etc. This shows the unfairness of US attitude towards the Soviets, therefore not being justified. However, according to Kennedy, the Soviets suddenly and secretly decision to place strategic weapons outside of Soviet soil is deliberately provocative and unjustified, creating an explicit threat to the peace and security of all Americans, proving that Kennedy felt that the Americans' actions were justified, for it was the Soviet who had created the problems. Thus, the cartoonist and Kennedy have different opinions on whether US was justified on its actions. The cartoonist will be surprised by Kennedy's statement.
Remember, Ethan, I asked Xingchen purposely, right, to read this picture, right? How to read this picture, Uncle? You siao. Picture just a picture, then he go and read all these words, right? When I say read the pictures, like you are playing that Kennedy and Khrushchev. Hey, 你神经病啊你！放这么多 rocket 在我的家外面做什么？ Then Khrushchev 那个矮子就讲 ，Hello， 你也是鸡蛋糕放这么多这些弥撒在我家门口啊？你以牙还牙啊 ？So you must not like that in your mind. So it's nothing wrong that you see. This too is not surprised. I'm not surprised. Based on your general knowledge and your contextual knowledge, who started placing the missile first? Who is the one who break the trust? Who is the one who decided to think that Khrushchev should get the punishment? Who is the one who think that Khrushchev will be the one to start the revolution against those Western Europe countries, or who going to take more territory? The British cartoonists will be surprised by Kennedy's statements, as both have different opinions on whether it was reasonable for Soviet Union to place the missile in Cuba. The British cartoonists will not be surprised by Kennedy's statement, as both sources agree that placing missile in Cuba endangered US security. So both agree that if you were to place a missile in Cuba, we're going to threaten the livelihoods of citizens of the Americans, that they will be jeopardized in terms of casualties and calamity. The evidence from the cartoon shows that the missiles were at US doorstep, suggesting that the Soviet base in Cuba was a threat to US because it was too close to US soil. The evidence from Kennedy's speech is the transformations of Cuba into an important strategy based by the presence of long-range offensive weapons of mass destructions creates an explicit threat to the peace and security of the Americans. Meaning that if you're going to put this, you're going to not only threaten us, you're going to make us that we can't sleep, we can't have a peace of mind. We are always worrying that kind of things that pressure us and stress us. So we have to get rid of this stress and pressure. How? Which tells us that the Cuban becoming a Soviet base with missile endangers the Americans. Wow, cannot. So I better think of a route, okay, a way to get rid of you. Thus, since the cartoonists and Kennedys are in agreement about the dangers of missile in Cuba to American interests, the cartoonists will not be surprised by Kennedy's statement. So the cartoonist is not surprised because, yeah, after all, it's true. If somebody pays a missile right to your doorstep, it's a right that you feel threatened and you have to report. It's just like somebody, Yichen, how may is Xingchen? Sorry, I apologize. And one day you go home, you saw 3 doors away, got somebody hang a 猪头在他们的门口，你的邻居的门口，那边是大耳窿Yichen对吗？大耳窿来，虽然是 3 doors away from your house 啦，你会报警吗？Yichen，你会报警吗？你不会报警啊？你叫那个老大出来 你叫那个黑色耳会老大这样啊？
我不会报警啊。
一晨，你这样啊？哎，我跟你讲啊，今天我要跟你谈判啊！哇，你为什么吓我？放猪头那边啊？你抽烟啊？这样，你放那个 tattoo 在你身体啊？在那个 Pokemon 还是比小叮当的 tattoo 啊？You would definitely call the police, right? You never know what the town loan will do. You know some loan shark will pour the paint on your house 嘞。虽然你知道吗，一晨 ？Do you know that? Do you know that?
But why
But why pour
would they
your
pour
house?
it on my house?
So
It's
you
not
will,
my problem.
yeah, it's not your problem. So you will force your neighbor to pay out. Smart, no? Smart move, right?
Yeah, honestly, they quite smart.
They force you. Then 你说，哎 ，please 啦 ，neighbor，是你借钱，不是我借钱，为什么要泼我那边？你可以 settle 嘛？不然每次几天我睡觉一半，叮咚叮咚，就是你那些咯，在帮忙，哎，叫你的邻居还钱了，叫你的邻居，哎，very mental stress，哎，please for goodness sake。我们警察每次有时候就是这些人打来 ，that's why 我知道啊，一晨 ，OK 有时 neighborly 哦，所谓远亲不如近邻啊 ，sometimes it's not true 啊 ，sometimes neighbor too close also fight like hell， 唉 ，that's why social study come in 啊 ，so very smart 啊，你没有听过说你说不关我的事，是我的邻居借钱的，check next day Bob you see your house got paid，so this is the reason why now you understand The Kennedy say, wow, if you can put at Cuba, then you're going to put where? The Bahamas there. Then you put at what? The Mexico there. Then you put at where? The Brazil there. Wow, cannot. Better do something. So the cartoonists will not be surprised by the opposing views that the Kennedys had in source D. As source D is an unreliable source, this is because Kennedy's statement blaming the Soviet as instigator for the crisis is refuted by the source E, which blames the Americans for the crisis. According to Kennedy, the placements of long-range offensive weapons of mass destruction creates an explicit threat to the peace and securities of all Americans, blaming the Soviet for endangering the Americans. But according to source E, it was the Americans who instigated the crisis as they declared themselves ready to rain down atomic bombs on hundreds of millions of people, endangering many lives. Since the Kennedy statement is unreliable, therefore the cartoonists will not be surprised having different views from Kennedy. So you see, look at E. Did we go to E, right? Oh, we didn't go through E. This one was D, right? D, C, D, E. Sorry. So adapted from this one in probably a Soviet paper. They say are capable of destroying many. These their leaders are playing with fire when they threaten war in the Soviet Union. They declare themselves ready to rain down atomic bombs. Then they think that they could act without fear, but the Soviet has the means to put a stop. So you see, this is adapted from the Soviet newspaper. Therefore, it is biased. Therefore, it's saying that Americans are the one who are the one to start first and do everything. So we have to take our own rules and laws in our hands as a Soviet citizens, that we need to take action against the American, which is true from these pictures. You can tell. Okay, right. So this is one of the reasons. So Yisan, Hao Wei, and Xingchen. So surprise question, be careful that you must read the surprise and not surprise and cross-referencing. Okay, so you
Sure.
see cross-referencing.
How do you do the type of question where they like say, are you surprised are you surprised by this source after reading, like for example, are you surprised by source E after reading source A?
Okay, later, let me finish the last part. The cartoonists will not be surprised as Kennedy's statements was expected. Kennedy's aim was to justify the government actions to the American to earn their support. The evidence from the source is the placements of a long-range offensive weapons of mass destruction creates an explicit threat to the peace and security of Americans, blaming the Soviets from endangering the Americans. Naturally, being the enemies in the CMC, Kennedy will place USSE in the negative light. USSR la, USSAE. USSE. Okay, in the negative light, making USSR out to be the civilians. Hence, since the statements blaming the Soviet for the crisis was expected, the cartoonists will not be surprised. Okay, so what he means here is that whatever he thought, to answer your question, Ethan, how do I do surprise and not surprise question? One, because this one was just a typicality, one person saying it. So I will not
No,
take
no,
it.
no. As in like the question, right, where they ask, like, for example, after reading source E, how like for example, if they ask after reading source E, are you surprised by source F?
After reading sources, are you surprised by what source F say?
Like source F.
So it's correct. It's also because I would not, I am surprised because
Then
it's
like
true.
for example,
Then
right?
because of this one, sometimes you have to use, oh, I'm not surprised because 是这个单枪一个人讲的. So I'm not surprised. You can use that. After reading source, what you say after source E, right? Reading source E. Are you surprised source F is saying that, right? Are you saying that?
Yes. Then like like you have to do a like for my child, right? He say like you have to do like a purpose paragraph where like you discuss the purpose of the thing.
Yes,
and then
yes,
whether
yes.
it has a bias purpose.
Of course.
Do you like discuss
related.
the purpose of the like for example, if the question is after reading source E is source F, do you find source F surprising? Then do you find the purpose of which source purpose do you analyze?
Okay, if the question asks you after reading source E, are you surprised with source F, right? So of course you have to support the source F. After reading source E, are you surprised with source F? You have to use the purpose of the source F to see why. Why is it not surprised? But you also can use E to prove the purpose that you are not surprised. Very, very confusing. Huh? So for example, source E say Uncle Raymond is a gay. Okay. Then after reading source F, okay, that Uncle Raymond is really a gay. Which purpose are you going to cross-reference?
Source F? I don't know.
No, it can be E. I'm not surprised. Then you can also cross-reference to A, B, and C also. Get me now? Did your teacher tell you this?
Yeah, he told me. You can do cross-reference.
To A, B, and C, and D, and E, and D, and F. You see, I'm not surprised that Uncle Raymond is a gay by reading what source E has said about F, because he is a gay because he act like one. They say I'm surprised that source after reading source E, that source F was this way because I'm surprised that he's not like that by cross-referencing to source A. Also can. Oh, so
okay,
they look very simple, Ethan. If you confuse Titan, how to cross-reference, then you cross-reference to another source to support. Always start with are you surprised? I'm surprised what source F say that after reading E. Because then you say, because it is also both E and F also talk about the same purpose of Uncle Raymond is a gay. But I'm not surprised to say I'm not surprised that Uncle Raymond is gay. But I'm surprised that source E say this about F because I can cross-reference A that it is not true. You get it, huh? But if you don't cross-reference A also can, but you can, but because it's better to cross out of this source. If you want to cross in, because E and F sometimes share the same ingredients of attacking the particular person or the particular organization or the particular leader or that particular things that both, like in social study, you'll say that CPF is not good, lousy lah. Then the other one, yeah, I agree. I got so much money in CPF, so I cannot use it. Die long until I die, my children get money. So are you surprised at what source F say after reading source E? Or after reading source E, are you surprised source F say this? I'm not surprised because in source A, the poor fellow was sinking and then dying outside the hospital, but they cannot pay Medisave. They say, I am surprised that say that because the government has introduced CPF Life and also Medicare, Medifund, Medishield. Why are they saying this? You see? 明白哦? More practice on that. This one is like surprise and not surprise questions. So when you read this, it's very confusing. But I will unmute, I will take out the answer sheet here and put it into Google Classroom, and then you can read through. Okay.